Hey, Plant Pals, Mike the Gardener, and this is just a quick video. I was in the process of preserving a bunch of things for my garden and making powders and doing all kinds of stuff. And my wife wanted some bone broth, some chicken bone broth, for her lunches for work. So I thought I would show you just a quick process on how I do a fast job of doing it. Typically, I will roast two whole chickens and strip the meat off and the skin and the bones and put the skin and the bones in the pressure cooker and start making my chicken bone broth that way. However, in like say the summertime when it's hot and you don't want to heat your house up by using your oven by roasting chicken, you can buy store-bought roasted chicken and use the bones, save the, use the meat and for your meals, and then save the bones and freeze them, which is what I've done here. These are frozen leftover chicken bones. And the nice thing about these is they're already seasoned. You don't have to do anything to them really, other than just put them in the pot. And what I'm going to also add is some vinegar that helps break down the bones so you get the nutrients out of it. And I'm going to add some turmeric, which also is good for turmeric and black pepper. Have beneficials. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to say any kind of medical advice, but it's also healthy and good for you. I do it when I start the bones, and I add some when I finish the bones, and especially if I have fresh. But like I said, this is just going to be a very short video on, I will do a long form video of showing me roasting the chicken, how I season the chicken, using herbs from my garden, and etc. This is just a quick kind of a tip on how you can make bone broth whenever the mood hits you. So I'll be right back with the vinegar and the turmeric, and I will be right back. Alright, I put the turmeric and black pepper in there because I couldn't do it one-handed while holding the camera. So I didn't bother getting a tripod or anything set up today. And just as like I said, it's just a quick off-the-cuff video. So I like to use balsamic vinegar. You can use your pepper vinegar or cider vinegar, anything you enjoy the taste of. Like I said, by the end of this process, you really won't taste it. It's just going to help break the bones down so you get all the nutrition out of it. Now that I have that done, I'm out of breath because I had to go downstairs to the basement to find my chicken broth. So I thought I had some up here, but I don't. Now water, you can just add water, but water has no flavor and doesn't really add anything. And I got this organic store brand bone broth on sale. It was very cheap, so why not use that? Because it doesn't taste great on its own, but it'll be great in this bone broth. And then you can use just any broth you get on sale. I don't recommend fat-free chicken broth because, especially if you're on keto, you want that fat that makes it taste good and also helps with the ketosis. But, like I said, it's up to you. You can use water, you can use low sodium, it's all up to you. However you want to do it. It's your broth. Make it your way. Alright, so I'm going to pause, open these up, pour them in, and I'll get it going. Alright, that process is done. I'm going to put the lid on. Get to hear the little happy tune. Lets me know that the lid is on correctly. And I make sure that the pressure release valve is in the correct position. And what I like to do is I do mine, so I do cook time, because this thing only has a certain amount of time. Well, first I'm going to hit soups and stews. And then I do my own time, because I'm going to do 2 hours, because that's as max as it'll go. And hit start. Alright. And what I'll do is I will do 2 hours on, 1 hour what's called natural release, which means you just let the pressure, once it cools down, the pressure valve releases so you can open it up, but I don't even bother opening it. I just start again for another uh, 2 hours, and I will probably do, uh, let's see, 6 hours of cooking time and 3 hours of off time, so 9 hours total. And I will have delicious chicken bone broth, and I will show you how that looks when I'm done. So I won't bore you with the process of watching the pot for 9 hours, but I'll come back when it's done. All right, I'll see you then. Okay, we've gone through 3 2-hour cycles and 3 1-hour rest in between, and the bones are pretty much on the way to being disintegrated. There's quite a few big ones left there, and I added some herbs because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add one whole onion that has a skin on. There's no labels on it, of course, because the skin actually helps thicken the broth. Adding 2 very hot peppers because that's the way we like it. I'm going to add a few dashes of Worcestershire sauce just for flavoring, and some tamari. As you can see, I'm not adding too much for this big amount because I don't want to dilute it too much, because I'm going to add, I made salsa earlier in the week and I have some left over, so I'm going to pour, instead of adding onions and peppers and stuff in here, I'm not going to waste this salsa because I'm not really having anything else to eat it with. Not doing any carbs or anything this week, so I'm not going to eat that. And I've got fresh herbs from my garden that I froze that I'm going to add a big handful of. It's got a couple peppers in it, and that'll season it up good. And as you can see how broken up it is, because every once in a while I go in there and kind of crush the bag as I add more herbs to it, and so that way I get a lot of herbs in a small space. And that's it. And then I'm going to do another 2 2-hour cycles with this and let it do its natural release for a final time, and I'll be good to go. All right, I'll show you the results when I'm done. Okay, we are back, and this was the final pressure cook, and as you can see, what were solid bones is now just basically turned into mush, and all the nutrients, all the minerals have been extracted, and I'm putting it through a strainer, and after I strain this through, I'll strain the liquid that's the broth, the bone broth that's in there. I'll run that through a fine mesh strainer, and then I will store it in a container, cool it down. You can put it over an ice bath if you want to cool down faster, and then you put it in the refrigerator, and then like in the bone broth demonstration, it will gel up, which means all of the collagen and the minerals and stuff have been extracted from the bones, and you have a healthy broth that's good for you. And my wife has a bowl every day, and it's quite delicious. All right, well, I'm going to keep straining, and I'll show you the final broth that's been strained. I'll be right back. And here we have a broth that has been strained multiple times. I'll let this cool down, and I'll put it in the refrigerator, and it'll be good for a week or so. It'll be probably gone by by the end of that, because it's quite delicious, and it's good for you. And I have myself a little bowl. I'm going to enjoy it. And I'll probably put some herbs from my garden into it. Like I've said before with my other broths, it's good to have with with the meat in it, if you have it, or vegetables and herbs. It's quite delicious to have in that too, or noodles. Yeah. So there you have it. That's just a quick way to make some chicken bone broth. That's healthy and good for you without going through all the steps of roasting the chickens first. But I'll do a video on that because it's also quite easy. And I have my own way of roasting whole chickens that you might be interested in. All right, I'll show you when I do that at some point. All right, hopefully that was interesting. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day.